One miniature per base? Multiple miniatures per base? Can't commit? Here's a compromise.
Rebel Rogue.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Rebel Rogue. If you're new here or enjoy the content, then subscribe to make sure you never miss an upload. So, in this hobby there are many ways to base your models, and many choices to make: square bases or round bases, narrow flat bases or raised bases, and, as we're talking about today, whether to base your models one per base or multiple per base. In systems such as Kings of War and A Song of Ice and Fire, models are usually based with many per base or placed on movement trays. This is also the standard for many historical titles. However, in all game systems currently produced by Games Workshop and many other titles from other companies such as Warlord Games' Bolt Action, models are based individually. For me, I want to use some of my models in both Warhammer 40k and in a system that I'm in the process of writing. These systems, whilst both using individually based models, differ slightly in regards to heavy weapons. Therefore, I want the freedom to have my heavy weapon teams all on the same base and based individually, weapon and each individual crewman on their own base. So today, after that ramble, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. To begin with, it is essential that you collect your materials. For this guide, I will be using some 60mm MDF circles as well as some 25mm MDF circles. In addition, I will be using some multi-purpose filler and various grits for basing. At the end, you will need some primer for when you begin painting your model. Also, have a sharp pencil. I begin by deciding where I wish to place the 25mm circle on the base, and how I'll organise the models on those bases. I'm using 3 25mm bases for this, one for each separate model. Then, I draw around each 25mm base with my sharp pencil, when it is positioned to my satisfaction. Stick around until the end when I will be showing you a simple tip to improve your bases. I then hold each of the smaller bases in place as I apply the filler to build the surface of the base. Leave this to dry until the filler is hard. Next, I carefully remove the smaller bases from the hardened filler. This will crack the filler, however I then place the bases back in place and, using a cocktail stick, build up any cracked areas. I cut around the bases using a hobby knife and removed them whilst the filler was still wet, to allow the cracks to be filled and not reappear. I apply a thin layer of filler to the top of the smaller bases and clean up the cavities in the filler on the larger base to allow the bases to move easily. I then glue the models to the bases, ensuring that they can each be separated and fit on the base correctly. Finally, prime the models and then you are ready to paint. Whilst these bases work, they aren't the most secure. To solve this, we can put thin magnets on all bases. Ensure that the pairs of magnets in each cavity match up correctly before gluing in place. This is probably best done when using GW bases or similar hollowed bases for the individual parts. You could also place some form of magnetic material into the cavities on the larger base instead of a magnet. Materials that you could use include steel sheeting or similar. I have not done this on mine as I do not have magnets currently, but I may do it in the future. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Rebel Rogue, and if you've stuck around to the end of the video and aren't subscribed already, perhaps consider doing so. If you wish, you can support me on other platforms. Links to my Facebook and Instagram are in the description. And if you're a bit stuck on how to decorate this base, perhaps check out this complex diorama video. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.